Welcome to Share the Health, a new podcast from the Ross County Health District, where we discuss health issues that affect our community. I'm your host, Sarah Smith. Today I'm joined by Ross and Pickaway County WIC Breastfeeding peers and certified lactation specialist, Rebecca Townsend and Rylan Williams. Welcome, Rebecca and Rylan.
Hi. Thanks for having us.
So how long have you both been working with WIC?
So myself, I have been with WIC officially 4 years in August. I've loved every minute of it.
And what about you, Rylan?
I have been here for almost a year and a half. I started last February, but I have definitely loved working with both teams and Pickaway and Ross. They've all been super welcoming.
Yeah, we have a great group. Really great group.
And I didn't mention, but WIC stands for the Women, Infants, and Children program.
Yes.
So how can you both describe your roles on the WIC team?
Mainly for me, since I do more breastfeeding peer stuff, I help new moms, pregnant moms, with breastfeeding if they have any questions, any help that they might need with breastfeeding, whether it's supply issues, pumping, latching, whatever it could be. Just help them get through it and try to help them reach their goals.
And that's the same for me. With me, I also do a lot of clerking now. So I'm just really trying to manage both. But I feel like, the moms still get plenty of attention. I make sure, if they need that latch support, they do need those supplies. We try to offer as many resources to them as possible. And especially with me throughout the day, I am calling moms, I'm checking in with them, whether they're pregnant, breastfeeding, pumping, anything of that nature. So
You mentioned goals for each client. So does that look different for everybody?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Some moms we get, they want to have a goal of just 1 month. And then they realize once they hit that 1 month goal, oh, okay, I really enjoy doing this. Let's keep going. And so we'll push that goal a little bit further. We have some moms that, set that higher goal. And it can be a little discouraging for them, but we definitely do our best to try and make sure that they reach that as best as possible.
Yeah, I was going to say the same. I mean, I have a few moms that just want to focus on giving the colostrum in the beginning and then are good to go to formula after that. I have ones that want to go just to the 6 month mark, and then once they're doing their solids, then they're good to stop. And then other ones that want to make it to that year or even past that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very individualized for everyone. That's one of the reasons why we like talking to them throughout their pregnancy, because we can kind of, inform them more on what their options are, what it could look like potentially for them, any barriers that they have, and kind of customize a goal to them specifically.
You mentioned colostrum. Mm-hmm. What is that?
So colostrum is the first milk that your body makes. It's the yellow, thicker, sticky milk that's plumb full of antibodies, nutrients that the baby will need. In the beginning, babies don't need as much milk that a lot of people think just because their bellies are so small. And with that colostrum being as thick as it is, you don't need very much of it. So helping inform moms that you don't need very much, because a lot expect to be making ounces as soon as baby's born.
Yeah.
Letting them know the reality that you need practically drops to fill baby up in the beginning is super beneficial, because that's something that I had no idea about whenever I had my daughter.
See, I didn't either. That was something that I learned along the way. And we actually even have some visual tools that we can use with moms, especially within those first 1 to 3 days, especially with that colostrum. So a lot of times the best way to compare it is kind of the first couple of days. The baby's belly size is about the size of a marble. So if you can visualize a marble, if you notice that baby's wanting to kind of eat more frequently or not eating for very long, that's why, because their tummies are just so small.
Yeah, I've never heard anyone actually say how small, a marble. That's tiny.
Yes, It's very small. I mean, after the 3 days, so within the 4 to 7 days, it kind of jumps up to what we compare it to, kind of a ping pong size ball. And then after that, then baby's tummy size goes up to an egg, a large grade A egg size.
And even that's not very big.
No, I mean, you think about that. That's just teeny tiny.
Yeah. So we mentioned that a little bit. So how can you tell if your baby is eating enough?
So one of the biggest ways is really watching those fullness cues is what we call them for babies. So you may notice baby is more sleepy. We want to call it kind of floppy limbs. So like if you would pick up baby's arm and it just flops on down, baby's pretty full and, not wanting to eat anymore. Another way is, you see maybe some milk coming out of the side of baby's mouth. They're pulling away from the breast. They're not actively doing what we call the suck, 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 swallow. And you can kind of watch their throat for that too.
Okay. So is it kind of like, as an adult, like if you've had a really big meal and you just kind of feel sleepy and you want to lie down, it's kind of the same way for a baby?
Exactly. Yeah. You want to take that nap.
Yes. What support does WIC offer specifically to mothers who breastfeed?
I feel like with having the breastfeeding peer position, having the peers here to help with the moms, if they have questions, if they need anything. I mean, we offer a bunch of supplies. If it's breast milk bags,
WIC breastfeeding bras. We offer some colostrum collectors to moms, especially for the beginning, if they want to just offer that colostrum. We have a ton of paper resources, online resources. We also can help provide if they need supplies for their breast pump. So there are a couple of brands that we carry specifically because that's what state allows us. And if there's something that we can't offer a mom, we do, like I said, we provide those online resources for them. So we let them know, even though it's not in our job description, I am one of those people that if a mom has a specific pump and she needs parts for it, I'm getting online and I'm helping look and research for her and sending her those things. But, and just being a good support system for them. So, sometimes a mom just needs someone to talk to and, hear the struggles that they're going through. And we know those struggles because we went through it ourselves.
I feel like having the support is one of the biggest parts of our job, just being able to be an open ear, somebody to listen to whatever they have going on. I have a lot of moms that don't even really talk to me about breastfeeding. It's just more about like, hey, you're an adult that I can have a conversation with once you have a baby, it's a bit rough. Mm-hmm. I went through that a lot because I was very young with my daughter and all of my friends were out having fun, doing whatever, and I was sitting at home with a baby. So having somebody to talk to definitely was very big for me and definitely helped me continue on.
Yeah, and like I said, I love that we offer those physical resources to the moms and that physical support, but we offer that emotional support to them. And one of the things I really love about the dynamic between Rylan and I is that she is a younger mom and has, went through different things than what I have, and she can support the younger moms a little bit better than I can. And so if I come into a situation where I'm like, even that's one of the ways we do help each other between clinics is that if I come in contact with a younger mom or maybe a situation that I haven't been through, I call her up and say, hey, I've got this mom. Can you talk to her? And she does the same with me. I mean, we are always communicating with one another just to find the best ways to support these moms.
Yeah, that's great that you have people on your team who have different backgrounds and different experiences so you can relate to that many more clients.
Yeah, absolutely.
You also have a breastfeeding support group for moms, correct?
Yes. So we were holding it in person, but now we've moved to online only.
Virtual.
So that's the word I was looking for. So usually any of the moms that are pregnant or breastfeeding, pumping, any of that nature, they will receive a text message that is sent out. Usually I think it's at the beginning of the month and they receive one the morning of even. It is held the last Thursday of every month, depending on if there's a holiday or, any kind of closing like that. But it is between 1 and 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We highly encourage moms to log on and join us. They don't have to say anything. They can just be there and listen. If they don't want to be on camera, that's fine. They can type things into the chat. It is just a very informal setting. But like I said, if anyone has topics they want to talk about, we're all for it.
So even if a mom maybe isn't actively breastfeeding, but they're kind of curious about it, anybody's welcome to log on.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yes, absolutely. We really encourage it. The more moms want to get on there and, talk and listen, the more, we want that. We want to support them.
What are some breastfeeding health benefits for mom and baby?
There's tons. Breast milk has a lot of antibodies and nutrients in it for baby. So sickness, if mom or baby is sick, those antibodies are going to be in that milk. So it'll transfer from mom to baby and vice versa. Your milk's constantly changing to whatever baby may need.
You may notice, so if your baby is getting sick, or even if yourself is getting sick, you may notice, especially if you're a pumping mom, that the color of your breast milk can change. So it could be green, have a green hue, a blue hue, and it's just your body knowing that it needs to produce and make those certain bacteria fighting things that we want. But it's always changing. It's always, if you need more fat for baby to help baby grow, it's going to recognize that. It's our milk, it's smart. Our body is smart to know exactly what that baby needs, what you need. Some other benefits, it can lower the risk of ovarian and breast cancer for mom. And a lot of moms don't realize that. It can lower the risk of diabetes for both mom and baby. That lower risk of sudden infant death syndrome for baby. A lot of babies who are breastfed can tend to it can lead to a higher IQ. But you can get a lot of that too just from that first milk, that colostrum.
And you'd mentioned that it's possible to separate that from the other milk, is that right? Or to just pump specifically for that colostrum?
Oh, yeah. The colostrum is going to be like I said, the first milk that you make. Mm-hmm. So after
you can have that colostrum you can have it start before you even deliver your baby. A lot of moms start to notice it. They think it's, they're not quite sure what's going on, but you can pump it and you will start to notice, because when you have your first milk, which is that, that colostrum, that thick, sticky, yellow tinged liquid, then you go into what we kind of call transitional milk, which is going to look more watery, lighter in color, but it still has that white tinge to it. And then you're going to transition into that mature milk, which is going to be kind of thickens up a little bit, but it's going to be more of a prominent white color. But again, always changing with your body, what baby needs. So it may not look exactly like that bright white milk, but it's going to be definitely more thick. It's not going to be that translucent in that transitional period.
That's amazing that a mother's body knows what the exact nutrients that the baby needs and that it adjusts accordingly. That's incredible.
It's amazing. I had a mom who had COVID, and she was so worried about breastfeeding baby. And she called me up one day and she's like, my breast milk looks blue. Why does my breast milk look blue? And I said, because you are currently sick. Your body is producing what it needs to help keep and protect baby from developing the sickness. And I said, it's perfectly safe unless for any reason you talk to your healthcare provider and they deem it not safe for baby. The color change is perfectly fine. It has no effect on baby whatsoever.
So with that changing for what the baby needs, does a mom need to change her diet while breastfeeding?
Not necessarily. You just have to make sure that you're staying hydrated, drinking enough water, liquids, and then eating a good meal.
Yeah, just eating a good, healthy diet, which is what we encourage within WIC regardless. But with moms, no, you don't have to stick to a certain type of diet. It's going to be all personal preference, so.
What about with medications? Are there certain medications that breastfeeding moms need to avoid? Does it just vary from person to person?
It can vary from person to person. It is definitely recommended any medications that you are taking to follow up with your healthcare provider first. We do have a resource, though, that we can look up a medication that a mom may be taking and see what the effects are on the breast milk and what it can potentially affect the baby. So usually in a case like that, some medications may just cause, a little bit more drowsiness with baby. But again, we highly encourage you to follow up with your healthcare provider before we go any further.
Are there any rules of thumb for breastfeeding?
Stay hydrated.
Take it day by day.
Yes.
Don't set goals so far out that you can't see the end of it. You never know what's going to happen. A lot of people would think that they're going to go in and have just a sunshine and rainbow experience when you never know what's going to happen. I mean, if baby doesn't want to latch, if they have ties, stuff like that, you have to be ready for and expect to, go through the learning process, because not only you are learning how to breastfeed, but baby is also learning how to latch, nurse, drink from a bottle, whatever it may be.
And the other thing is that you may have breastfed one child and it been a very smooth process. That does not necessarily mean that the process is going to be the same with the next child. Just how each pregnancy varies, each breastfeeding journey is going to vary. So, we don't want you to go in with low expectations, but we also want you to
have realistic expectations.
Yes. And that's what, again, that's what we are here for. I mean, we can help you through whatever roadblock comes along the way. I mean, I have had several moms who had breastfed a previous child for, 15, 16, 17 months. And then the next child, they came into these barriers a lot quicker. And so we had to dial it back in. Let's look at this. Let's form a plan. Let's see what we can do.
So don't get discouraged if it's not a walk in the park.
Yeah.
Yeah,
day.
absolutely. I mean, and that's the thing. It's not always going to be like that, but we are going to be your biggest supporters. We're going to be your number one fans. We're going to find every possible thing to help make this a successful journey for you.
Are there any certain challenges that mothers and children can experience with the breastfeeding? You mentioned like latching issues. Is that a pretty common thing that moms have?
Yeah. Shallow latch is really big. I personally went through that with my daughter. She had a super shallow latch, so it was very painful in the beginning. I was young and didn't really have any help.
I've noticed a lot more recently within the last year, actually, of a lot more babies being diagnosed with tongue and lip ties. So that can be a big barrier to come across. But there are a lot of different breastfeeding positions that we can help mom with to make it successful, to get that deeper latch for them. It can be a lot of trial and error. So again, we don't want moms to get discouraged. We're going to help you along this way. Anytime they have questions, concerns, call into the office, stop into the office. For myself, for Rylan, we also have, our director can help with that, things like that. She is also a certified lactation specialist. One of our health professionals is a certified lactation specialist. And another one of we have two health professionals that are certified lactation specialists now. And one of our health professionals was even previously an IBCLC, which is an international board certified lactation specialist. So even though she still has a lot of that knowledge, I mean, we are all trained in basic breastfeeding knowledge. So if, for some reason one of us is not there, these moms are always going to have help and support. So like I said, even if they would stop into the office, they're going to be helped.
Another nice thing about our whole team being certified lactation specialists is that we can all bounce ideas and
100%.
recommendations off of each other. I mean, I do it with Becca all the time. I'm always asking hey, I have this going on. This is happening. Give her a quick rundown. And then she fires back immediately with things that I can try. We just actually ran into that yesterday,
2 days
Tuesday.
ago.
So we were bouncing ideas off of each other and hopefully came to a good result. But
yes. And, if there's something that for some odd reason we cannot help the mom with, we will recommend them to their OBGYN office and to speak to one of the IBCLCs at really any hospital. There should always be an IBCLC on staff. And we do have those names and resources for moms.
Feels like you have a great network, not just locally, but at the state level and even beyond.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So you've talked a little bit about breast pumping. What are some of the factors that go into that for a mom who wants to pump?
So again, that can kind of vary from person to person. It's going to depend on what they want that to look like. Are they returning to work? Are they pumping because they baby is not having a good latch? Are they pumping just because they're uncomfortable with baby being at the breast? There are a lot of factors that come into play with that. I will say the first thing is we want to make sure that if a mom decides to pump, that she has a very good pump. A lot of moms can receive a free breast pump through their insurance, and we have resources that we can give mom to help along with that. But getting off to a good start is starting early on too. So if you want to exclusively pump, then we want you to start as soon as baby's born.
You want to make sure that you have a good flange size. That's something that's super important. So making sure that it's fit to what you need, not too big, not too small, because that can have a effect on your production. You want to have good pump parts. Make sure that they're all good, no gaps or anything in like your ductbills or your membranes, valves, all that stuff. The right education on how to clean your pump, how to store it, how to put it together is super important as well.
And we have paper resources on that as well. One of the things that I like about the cell phones that we have now for texting moms is that we can send video resources to them. I've sent plenty over to moms with to help them with different positioning, how to clean their pump, how to use their pump. We can customize it. Again, there are a ton of different pumps out there. It's just finding, the pump that's going to work for you. Again, we do carry some resources for a couple of brands of pumps. So if they would need tubing flanges, we can also, one of the resources that we do too is if a mom needs sized for flanges, because like Rylan said, that can be a huge factor in your supply. If you are, have too large of a size, too small of a size. And we really recommend moms coming to us for that too, because although the hospital has a ton of great resources, they don't carry those smaller sizes for moms. And that's just because of what is being provided to them. So that's one of the things we can help with.
Tagging along to that with the hospitals is another thing too, is that once you have baby, you're super swollen and swelling does go down. So your size may change. So getting checked again throughout your breastfeeding journey, pumping journey, whatever it may be, is definitely super important just because size can change.
Yep. And we want to make sure it's getting off to a good start. So
it sounds like equipment is very important for this whole process.
Yeah.
Oh,
for sure.
Absolutely. I don't want to be biased, but one of the types of pumps that is great for a mom, especially when she wants to exclusively pump, is having a double electric wall plug-in pump. A lot of moms are loving these hands-free pumps, and they are great, especially if you're returning to work, you're on the go, but we also want to have that established supply first. And having that double electric is really going to help get that supply established. Those hands-free, again, they're great, but not until you're a little bit farther along in that process.
Sounds like there's really a learning curve to all of it, that you can't just jump in head first.
No. And I know, Rylan, you have a little bit more experience with pumping than what I did.
Yeah. So I went into breastfeeding knowing absolutely nothing. Did no research. None of my family breastfed, pumped, anything. I mean, distant family did, but not people that I could just like, hey, I have this going on. Any recommendations, anything like that. So I went into it completely blind. Whenever I had my daughter, they had me pump in the hospital and I made drops and they were like, that's so much. I'm over here sitting like, what are you talking about? There's hardly anything there. And she didn't eat it all. And then when we dumped it down the sink, then they were like, why would you do that? It's still good. But that's a whole different story. Pumping for me was, my daughter had that shallow latch and I didn't have anybody to lean on. I had my daughter when it was still COVID, and I was young, and asking for help is very, very hard, especially once you just have a baby. So I was doing a lot of research on like Facebook groups with other moms that are going through the same thing, learning about what goes into pumping, that you have to have the around the clock, you have to pump every 3 hours, at least 10 times a day throughout the night. All that is definitely something that I did not know. So learning that would have been nice in the beginning. That's another thing that I really like about having the breastfeeding peer position here is being able to educate moms on the stuff that you don't really get in your like prenatal appointments or even postnatal. Like I said, I knew nothing, and I told everybody I'm doing it. This is what I'm doing. I'm dead set. I'm not changing my mind, and I didn't get any of that information that I wish I would have had. But
yeah, I mean, we can set up a one-on-one appointment with a mom if she wants to talk about what her options are as far as pumping goes. I sat down with a mom within the last couple of months, and we got on the computer, and I showed her all of the options that her insurance provided for her, and we did a lot of comparison, and she had made a decision, and she's been successfully pumping now with what she was able to get, and I've sized her a couple of times just to make sure everything fits. I explained to her about the swelling and how things can fluctuate. And she's, like I said, she's doing really great.
yeah, that's another thing. When I was pumping, I didn't know anything about flange sizing or anything like that. So for the first few months, I was just using the basic 24s, and then like it was always uncomfortable. The rubbing, that is not fun, because it's skin on plastic. Nobody wants that. But once I learned about flange size and actually got the right size that I needed, it was a world of a difference.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, these kind of tips that you learn firsthand, I'm sure you're helping so many moms in that way with what you experienced yourself.
Yeah. Yes.
It really sounds like pumping is a full-time job.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and so you like I said, you have to make that decision for yourself and what you want that to look like. And we can help guide you through that. That's the same with, direct latching, baby. It is a process, it is a job, and we will help you navigate all the way.
Even though it sounds like it takes a lot of time and effort, you've already talked about the amazing health benefits for the mom and the child. So it sounds like it's definitely worth it.
Oh, yes.
It's definitely nice for that bonding as well. So, I mean, especially like if you have a lot of family coming over, baby cries, oh, baby's got to eat. Give me my baby back. And that was always nice, because when baby cries, it's normally because they want mom. So it gives you not really an excuse, but a reason to get baby back and let baby calm down from all the commotion of people.
Yeah, and kind of playing off of that a little bit. A lot of people think that when the mom is exclusively latching baby and maybe the partner can't feed, or grandma, there are other ways for a family to support mom that maybe not be that direct feeding the baby. Mom is It is a full-time job. So helping support mom, going and getting her something to drink to stay hydrated through that, getting her a snack.
Some snacks.
Yes. Yeah. We want those snacks, supporting mom in the other ways. Maybe the dishes have piled up and we need that taken care of, or,
washing bottles.
Some laundry. Yes. Just helping support mom in those other ways, just letting her know that you've got her back. You support her 100%. That makes a difference, because if a mom is overwhelmed, she's stressed, that can affect your supply and it can cause it to drop a little bit. And so we want, as much of a calm environment as possible so we can help feed that baby and get, that baby can get all of that nourishment.
Do you feel like breastfeeding has become more normalized in culture in recent years than it was previously?
I feel like it comes in phases.
Yes. Yes and no.
Because way back when, it was bad and they had different concoctions of stuff that they would give baby. And then it got more normal and everybody was doing it. And then it goes back to formula. Right now, we're kind of I feel like we're pretty even split, especially in Pickaway. I don't really know much about Ross, but I feel like we're very even on moms that are exclusively breastfeeding and moms that are exclusively pumping or formula feeding.
Yep.
But I do feel like it is more normal to see moms out in public. If they're nursing, you see a mom with a cover on. It's pretty normal now. And lactation pods at stores are super cool. A lot of stores, I know Walmart's, at least some of them have lactation rooms.
Yes, I've noticed an increase in a lot of businesses having like you said, like a pod is what they call it, but having a space for moms to be able to, breastfeed or pump for their baby. So they have, maybe a sink in there for them to wash pump parts.
A chair, rocking chair, something.
But yeah, it seems like it's a pretty even split right now. We keep kind of statistics on it, especially for our WIC clinic, on what that looks like for whether that be the duration. So we keep track of the duration for initiating the breastfeeding, for how many moms and babies we have breastfeeding at 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months. So what that looks like for us as well. So we try to highly encourage moms to at least attempt to breastfeed. I mean, you may think that you don't want to do it, attempt it, and it turns out to be an amazing journey. For myself, I remember writing in my pregnancy book, I did not want to breastfeed. I wanted to formula feed. And I went to the hospital, and the lactation consultant there was like, let's try this. And then I went on to breastfeed my daughter for 15 months. And it was an amazing journey for us. And I never would have expected it. So expect the unexpected.
Look at you now, being a certified lactation specialist.
I know. I never thought in a million years that this is what my job would be. And I have loved every single minute.
That's exactly how I am too. Like I said, knew nothing about breastfeeding when I had my daughter. And then once I had my daughter, I learned so much. And then I had other people that were having babies and had questions. And I'm like, let me answer them. I'll give you everything, like all the information that I have. And then me and my fiance were looking and found a job, and now it's like my dream job. I want to continue doing this. I love helping the moms and being the support that they need, or just a ear to listen to them, whatever they have going on. I absolutely love my job.
Oh, 100%. I could never see myself doing anything else besides helping these moms.
Mm-hmm. The enthusiasm that you both bring, it's a wonderful gift to your clients. It really is.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. We love our moms. We love our moms, our babies. We love them so
You can
much.
definitely feel that just listening to you talk about what you've been through with them on their journeys. Mm-hmm. Is it ever too late to start breastfeeding once your baby's born? Like if a mom has been bottle feeding from birth for a little while, is it ever too late for them to try to start breastfeeding?
Not necessarily, but it will be
Challenging.
very challenging to initiate that lactating, especially. So for one, and that's another thing, a reason why moms get very discouraged in the beginning is because they don't immediately see that breast milk coming, or even that colostrum at first. Breast milk can take up to 10 days, 2 weeks, even for your milk supply to actually come in. So a lot of moms, when they don't see that first off, they get really discouraged and they want to stop. And so they get to that point where they're using that formula, they're feeding baby that way, and then maybe a month down the road they want to try because they realize, oh, okay, maybe this is worth trying. It is going to be a struggle because if you didn't initiate it in the beginning, it's going to be harder a little later on. It's not impossible, but you have to be very committed and willing to work for it. But it is possible. It is very possible.
I feel like social media has a big impact on that as well, because you see a ton of moms with huge oversupplies, and people,
that is not the normal.
No, not at all. I mean, it's common to a point, but people expect to be making like gallons of milk a day when that's not how it works.
It's not always reality for every mom.
You make what baby needs to eat, which with breast milk, it's a lot different than formula, where formula, your baby's getting, you can get up to.
With formula, baby does get like set amount of ounces for age, for weight, for height. Mm-hmm. With breast milk, your body, even with the pumping, but if you're direct latching, I mean, you don't see what your body is producing. So, which is very important to go, again, off of those fullness cues. So your body may be producing, 1 to 2 ounces, and that might be all that baby needs. With the pumping, you may produce 5 ounces. No matter what you are banking, you should always be proud of what you are making, because you're making a lifelong difference for yourself, for your baby. So getting on that social media, yes, it can be very helpful, but again, it's not always realistic. And what one mom produces is not going to be the same for another mom. So that's why we want to have you talk to us. Let us encourage you. I mean, I had a mom who, again, recently, there's always this recently's, where she felt like she wasn't making enough. She started supplementing, and I asked her, I said, how much do you, because she pumps, and I said, how much do you get when you pump? She's like, about 3 ounces. Baby's only like 2 weeks old. I'm like, you're making 3 ounces?
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, you are doing a great job. And this was every 2 hours that she was producing this. Watch the baby, not the bottle. That's what we kind of say with feeding.
Sounds like one of the other great things you guys could provide your clients is perspective. That if they don't, I don't think I'm making enough. Like what you just said, like they were going above and beyond and didn't realize it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you are producing a high amount, awesome. We love that too. Moms think that if they are pumping that they need to, that's the other thing we like to say is feed the baby, not the freezer. If you produce enough that you can have that stash is what we call it, that stash build up for a baby, awesome. We love that for you. But it's not going to always look like that. And that's okay. Don't compare yourself to other moms. You are doing an amazing job. You are providing for your baby. Your baby is happy and healthy, and that's the most important thing. No matter what your journey looks like, that is the most important.
You've also been able to get some donations from companies around the country for your breastfeeding moms as well.
Yes, that is one thing that I just kind of one day I was like, you know what? We can provide these resources that come from state, but what can I do to further help these moms? And so just on my own time, it starts with a simple email. I let a company know who I am, what I do, who we help, and why we help them, and I just send it off. And I have had so many wonderful companies in the 4 years that I have worked here that have been able to provide donations to us, whether it be something small, like I've had some companies that give us stickers, but they're encouragement stickers for these moms, and they love the stickers. I mean, who doesn't love a good sticker, right? But we've also been able to get, other simple little things like pens and notepads. We have been able to get
a lot of information sheets as well. We've had a lot of companies send like just tear sheets with a bunch of information on them, whether it's how long to store breast milk, hunger cues, stuff like that.
Yes. We've been able to get breast pads for moms, which is a big one, especially because breast pads can be very expensive. We have washable ones that we love giving moms. I mean, who doesn't want to just throw it in the washing machine and be done with it? I mean, we've been able to get cooler bags and different types of storage bottles even. One of my most proudest donations that we have received thus far is from a company that I had reached out to called Simple Wishes. They were WIC moms themselves, which I thought was amazing. They are an amazing company, and I just sent a simple email and received the first donation from them last year, and they had sent us over 300 nursing bras to us. And again, this year, they were able to provide us with even more. We were able to secure over 900 bras that we can help provide to moms.
And we have a lot of moms that are super, super thankful for that because, I mean, they can be super expensive, and a lot of companies, like insurance that's not something that they typically provide you with. So us being able to provide them with a comfortable nursing bra or comfortable pumping bra definitely makes a huge difference, and they are all super, super thankful.
And we carry all sizes. And we can measure you if you're unsure, which a lot of moms are after they have had baby because, again, due to swelling, increased breast size with the, because your breasts become more full whenever you are starting to produce that milk. And so you may not be the same size you were pregnant as you are post-pregnant. So we can size moms and find the right fit for them. And, I mean, they need a bra, we've got a bra.
A lot of bras
A lot of
A
bras.
lot of bras.
in different colors.
Yes, very
And
color.
sizes.
Very. We have a lot of colors and sizes and styles even.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever mom needs, we've got her covered.
Do you have any final thoughts or words of encouragement for breastfeeding moms, or maybe an expecting mom who's thinking about breastfeeding? Anything you'd like to share with them?
But as far as any moms that are currently breastfeeding or pumping and feeling discouraged, don't give up. Don't give up. You've got this. You are amazing. You're amazing. Pregnant moms, you have questions, concerns, you let us know. We're going to answer as best as we possibly can. And if we can't, we're going to find you a resource. We're going to help you.
Yeah. I was gonna say you can always give it a shot. See
Yeah.
how if it's something that you want to do. I mean, you can always change your mind. It's not you don't have
And
to do
don't-
this forever.
Yes. And don't ever feel guilty. Don't
Yeah.
ever feel guilty. You,
Made life. That's a job enough. And then
exactly.
if you're wanting to continue and breastfeed and provide the nutrients for your baby, that's great. If not, that's great. You're still feeding your baby
Exactly.
and
Just
taking care of it and doing what you need to do.
be confident, be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
A lot of moms, we can be very hard on ourselves, very hard on ourselves. And just take that time and realize what you have accomplished thus far.
A big thing I always tell my moms is do whatever's best for you. I'm not here to
Yes.
push anything on you. If you have feelings one way or the other,
Yeah.
do what is best for you. It's not
Yes, we
not
will.
my place, not my.
We will talk to you about it. You know,
Yeah.
if you're thinking about stopping breastfeeding, and if you are feeling guilty about it, that's okay. That is okay. We will talk to you. We will,
We've been through it.
yes, I wanted to quit several times, especially
yeah.
with my son because of the struggles that we went through. But I had support and we pushed through, and I made it. My breastfeeding journey with him was even longer than my daughter. So, just whatever that's going to look like for you, you've got support here from both WIC clinics. We've got you.
Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
like with my daughter, we went through teething really bad, and she was biting constantly, and that was like around 10 months, and I was like,
That's another reason why a
can't-
lot of moms stop. And
it's awful.
yes,
It sucks, but I mean, you learn ways around it, and I breastfed her until she was 26 months old, and couldn't imagine it any other way. I mean, it's insane how much.
There are definitely a lot of things that we can kind of talk to you about with teething and biting with baby. A big thing, and it's kind of like an old school thing, is, cold washcloth. Cold washcloth, rub it on their gums. It kind of sounds a little harsh, but just giving baby a firm no on the biting, like no biting.
And then redirect them,
Yes.
be done with the feeding, come back to it a different time.
Yes, absolutely. Unlatch, relatch. If you feel like you want to stop because you don't want to go through that, that's okay. But if you want to try to push through, we're gonna help you through it.
Tons of ways around all of it.
Oh,
We
yeah.
can figure it out. We'll find something that will hopefully work.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we are always bouncing ideas off of one another. So if there's something that you're in office and we can't help you with, right that second, okay, give me a moment. I'm going to find somebody. We're going to bounce these ideas off of each other. We're going to help you. We're going to figure this out. But if you decide that, you do want to stop, that's okay. And we're going to walk you through the steps of how to,
Safely go about it.
yes, safely go about drying up any supply that you do have, and how to transition baby into, maybe if you were exclusively latching, transition baby into that bottle.
Any other thoughts?
You got this. Don't give up.
Yep.
We're here for whatever it may be, if it's just a talk or if you need information.
Yep. You've got this. Call WIC.
Call WIC.
Call WIC.
Well, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk
Thank you.
about what you do and really how much you care about your moms and families who come in. And that's wonderful. You guys are a blessing here at the Health District and for all the families that you help in Ross and Pickaway counties. And we're just so appreciative of everything that you and your whole team do.
Oh, thank you so much. I
We
mean,
appreciate it.
yeah, absolutely. We
give it our all.
appreciate being appreciated
Yeah,
and
right.
appreciating these moms.
Well, thanks so much to Ross and Pickaway County WIC breastfeeding peers and certified lactation specialists Rebecca Townsend and Rylan Williams for joining us today. For more information about WIC programs and services, visit www.rosscountyhealth.org/WIC. Until next time, take care and share the health.